Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm a Big Four strategy consultant with 10 plus years of experience, and I thought this channel, needs to be there because I want to share all of the ways I've struggled with and basically give you the essence of learning Excel faster and not just learning Excel but making decisions with Excel. So, I think this channel is intended to teach you the Excel the right way. We start with the business problem and not the formula. So, you make faster, better decisions at work. The troubling thing I myself faced and the troubling thing I see people struggling with who are new to Excel is they start by learning the formulas first. Formulas will come along the way because there are n number of formulas, there are 100 plus formulas, and you don't know what you need the most. So, generally, it's the 20% of the formulas you will use 80% of the time in your business. So, that being said, let's start right away solving a problem. So, the first problem statement I've chosen is how do you make profit from buying and selling land? There's a very interesting concept called leveraged buyout, which we will discuss today, and basically, we will discuss on how to do it in Excel. Okay, I'll try to keep this very basic. Excel can be made very, very complicated with formulas, but that does not help anyone, right? Take it from me, coming from a Big Four strategy consultant, complication does not equal to good quality work, right? Okay, so what's the first thing that we need for any financial model or any kind of Excel modeling we do for decision making? One of the very first things is we want to buy and hold the land. We have a certain timeline in mind, right? Generally, it's annual. In case of land, it's annual. Given if you want to have a healthy appreciation of land. So let's take the present year, and I'm just going to equal to +1. If I drag this, I can use a lot of keyboard shortcuts also, but that will not help anyone. So if I drag this simply, let's take a 6 year, let's take a 6 to 7 year time horizon, and let's fix a few dates. Okay, so this is the date you will buy land, and say this is the date you want to sell land. Okay. Okay, so let's write down the values in simple languages. Buy land cost. Okay, say the land is maybe 10 lakh rupees. The land is of 10 lakh rupees, and I'll quickly format this to a number format. You can go here and click on the number format. And I need comma spaces. Okay, very good. And now, what happens to the land when it reaches 2032? So this is the buy land cost. Let's put 0 because you're buying only in this year. Now, what is the sell land cost? Now, we can automatically, using Excel formulas, we can update it. So, let's say you want to appreciate the land at how much? You want to appreciate the land by 10% per annum. So this will appreciate at 10% per annum, and by the end of 2032 there are 6 years, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply take this 10 lakh and I'll multiply it with 1 plus 10% my appreciation year, and I will do to the power 6. So 2 the power and 6 are on the same key of the keyboard, right? So my land cost is approximately 17,71,561. Okay, now this is my buy land cost and this is my sell land cost. Now the leveraged buyout model, what's the leveraged buyout model says, what is your land cost? So your land cost is, it's equal to 10 lakh rupees. Okay, now what the leveraged buyout model says, leverage is simply loan. What loan you take from the bank. Say the loan you want to take from the bank is 60%. Okay, then what will be the loan cost? The loan cost will simply be this amount multiplied by the 60% of it, 6 lakh rupees. And what will be the cash component, or how much will you pay from your pocket? It would simply be whatever is left out of this 10 lakh rupees. So that will be 4 lakh rupees. Now see what the plan is. Let's draw out the leverage buyout plan. Leverage buyout plan is that I buy land at this time and I sell at land this time, which basically implies that this is your outgoing money, right? This is your outgoing money, this is your incoming money. Now, what else is outgoing? There is something called EMI, right? So, what else is outgoing? There is something called EMI. Now, to calculate EMI, there's a very simple formula called PMT. PMT is payment in short. Now, what this payment is demanding, it's demanding a rate of interest. Since this is an annual timeline, let's say the general rate of interest is 9%. It's very simple, very intuitive. Now, what's it saying is, what is the number of periods that the loan is for? Okay, the loan is for 7 years, 2026 to 2032. It's for 7 years, including 2026. What is the present value? Present value simply it's implying that what is the loan amount that you are taking. The future value and the type is something which is not relevant to us right now. So what it's saying is per annum I have to make a payment of 1,98,690, which means that this includes the repayment and this includes the interest payment. Now you will pay this up till this point. So if I equate it to this, it will go up till this point. Okay, which basically means, one second, I'll just expand this. Okay, I'm going to do a special paste and I'm going to paste the column widths. It's okay, you can manually extend it also. There's no worries on that. Okay, now at the end of 2032, how much EMI have you paid? You've paid 13,90,833. That is, and this is the interest plus principal both. Now, how will you know that when you get this as a proceed? Leverage buyout simply means that whatever loan amount is remaining, you pay it off and you make a profit, right? Let's assume for a simpler case of calculation that there is no rate of interest. Okay, the rate of interest is 0. So by the end of this year, how much have you paid off already? You've paid off 10 lakh rupees already. So by the end of this year, you get a profit of 17 lakhs, but you have to pay the bank how much? 10 lakh rupees. So 17 lakhs minus 10 lakhs. Oops, sorry, I need to make this a plus. You make a profit of 7,70,000, right? So you invested, see, the money you invested was 4 lakh from your pocket. With an investment of 4 lakh, you bought a land worth 10 lakhs, sold it for almost 18 lakhs. So if I calculate your return, how much will it be? You invested 4 lakhs and you made 7 lakhs, almost 8 lakhs. So what is the percentage of interest you have made? You've almost doubled your money, right? You've almost doubled your money. You've made a 92% change. This is not the rate of return. This is a 92% change you have made. A change of one means you have doubled your money, right? So if you simply want to calculate what was my rate of interest, the Excel has a formula called RRI. Now what is RRI saying? How many periods were you invested for? So I was invested for 7 periods, right? What was my present value? My present value was 4 lakh rupees. And what was my future value? My future value was this. So I have made a very good healthy 10% return. That is not bad. Now, when it comes to decision making, what makes your decision making? The decision making is done by adjusting the parameters. What if you don't hold the land for 7 years? What if you hold the land for 3 years only? So if you hold the land for 3 years, say you buy it in 2026 and you hold it in 2028. Maybe this 7 lakh does not appreciate like you think. So if I quickly copy this formula and I place it here, right? If I quickly copy this formula, I place it here. Instead of 6, this becomes 3, right? So in a time period of 3 years, I make a profit of how much? Almost 3 lakh rupees. Does that make sense? Because that does not make sense, because 4,28,000 is something that is pending with the bank, and I am making a gain of 3,31,000 only, right? So I'll be in a negative. I still have to pay the bank from the pocket. So this does not make any sense. Now what happens if I sell my land in 2030? If I sell my land in 2030, so I hold the land for 2 more years. Now, if I apply the same formula here, if I apply the same formula here, one second. I make a profit of 6 lakhs. How much is pending on the bank side? So 7 lakhs I've paid. So I still have to pay 3 lakhs to the bank, which means I'll be in a profit of 3 lakhs again, but I invested 4 lakhs. So the only plausible case I see is selling my land 2032, or there is one more variable at play here. I'm only assuming an appreciation of 10% per annum, but that cannot be the case. Say if my property has doubled, if my property doubles in 3 years time, I have my sell value will be 20 lakhs. I have paid the bank already almost 4.5 lakhs. So I have to pay 1.5 lakhs more. That gives me a whooping profit of 18, almost 18.5 lakhs. That implies I paid 4 lakhs. I owned the property for 4 lakhs. I made almost 18.5 lakhs. So what is my rate of return here? My rate of return becomes, I hold it for 3 years. My present value was 4 lakhs and I made a profit of 66% gains, right? So that is how you can use this Excel, or you can rather use Excel to make a decision. So the idea is to start simply with a problem statement and not get caught into formula, right? Follow the logic and the rest will follow. Thank you so much.